Joe Pyfer defeats Israel Adesanya via TKO in the second round at UFC Fight Night Seattle. Today is not a good day. Obviously, I made that prediction yesterday. I thought that Izzy was going to simply just outclass Joe Pyfer. And watching the fight last night / this morning, I am extremely upset. Izzy lost, and a lot of people thought that he was going to end up retiring, but he has decided to stay in the sport. Whether that's a good decision, I'm not sure. Who is he going to fight next? Again, I'm not sure. But it looks like Izzy's redemption season is finally over, and I was wrong. I hold my hands up. Joe Pyfer was very impressive last night. It's easy to look at this fight and go, oh, Izzy's just washed. He's just not that good. But Joe Pyfer looked a lot better than I expected him to. So respect to him. But looking at the fight and how it went, Izzy actually looked alright, especially in the first round and obviously the first half of the second round. I thought he looked a lot faster as I thought he was going to. He was landing him. He started to land pretty heavy low kicks inside and outside, switching stances, landing on Pyfer with the hands not as much, but he was still catching him in parts. And when Pyfer would attempt to land back, Izzy would evade it. He'd maybe get caught with the first one, but his head movement would get him out of the follow-up shot, which is sort of the real danger. And I thought, okay, this is how this fight is going to go for 5 rounds. Izzy's going to keep chewing up the legs. The calf kicks were nasty. You could see Pyfer was feeling them at a certain point. He started to react to them. He started to be more conscious of checking them. And then as soon as Izzy figured out that he was conscious of checking the low kicks, he would go in with his hands and start to land on Pyfer. The feints were nice. The stance switches, as I said, were nice. And he was flowing out there at a certain point. And I was like, thank God. Vintage Izzy is back. He's going to annoy Joe Pyfer basically for 25 minutes and just continue to do this. Pyfer was shooting. A lot of the times he ended up in a body lock against the cage. He was trying to throw Adesanya down and he just couldn't. Izzy's balance was good. His takedown defense, in my opinion, is underrated, as much as many people do say it's really good. But he was able to stay on his feet. He did get taken down in the last, I think, 20 to 30 seconds of the first round. Pyfer ended up on top, landed a heavy elbow, but still, I thought Izzy clearly won the first round 10-9. There was a certain point he landed a knee on Pyfer's head up against the cage, and it was nasty, right on his head. And respect to Pyfer, he has a chin on him, because a lot of people would have at least had a reaction or went down to that, because, yeah, it was a nasty knee. Then in the second round, I thought Izzy again looked good. The body kicks were really nice from him, the low kicks. But it was turning a lot more into a scrap than the first round. A lot of the exchanges were getting a lot closer. Pyfer started to land back. Pyfer kept doing this thing where he was sort of hand fighting to get into exchanges, to sort of get Izzy closer to the cage and sort of skip the void. And in a weird way, it worked from him. Izzy was, again, outlanding him, and I think he was annoying Pyfer even more. Izzy could see, right, I could maybe have this guy if I keep, peppering him up against the cage, but Pyfer was cracking him on the return, and that was the difference between the first round and the second round. Pyfer wasn't able to land back as he was more defensively minded when he was entering these exchanges, but in the second round, I think he could feel that Pyfer was feeling it a bit more, maybe reacting to the low kicks. Somebody gets sense, blood in the water type of thing, and Pyfer was just cracking him back, heavy shots. And Izzy didn't look to sort of be, he wasn't taking them badly at all. He was, I think some people expected the first time he would get touched because of his chin that's apparently, washed, he would just get flatlined. But he was staying in there. And then at a certain point, Izzy ends up against the cage. And this is where, in my prediction, I was scared. If Izzy ends up against the cage, we may be cooked. And Pyfer was landed on him, but Izzy was covering up well. Guard up against the cage, moving the head. Pyfer was landed on him, but mostly landing on the guard rather than actually getting clean punches. And then Izzy sort of gets his back off the cage. Pyfer grabs him, throws him down. Nasty throw. He was attempting those all throughout the fight. Pyfer really couldn't take him down and open or up against the cage in the first, but I guess since Izzy was sort of getting cracked more in the second, yeah, it was a nasty throw. Got him down, ended up on his back at a certain point. Body triangle, was threatening the rear naked choke, but Izzy was defending well. He looked very uncomfortable in that position, of course. Anybody that's been in the body triangle knows it's not a nice place to be in, but he was breathing heavy. I don't know if something was up with his nose. Maybe Piper cracked it. He was struggling to breathe through it, but he was breathing very, very heavy and he looked uncomfortable. And then at a certain point, they flip round. Piper ends up on mount. He starts throwing heavy elbows. Piper's ground and pound elbows are disgusting. They're really, really nice. And Izzy took, I believe, one, and then he went, okay, I can't take any more of these. And he started shrimping round. And Piper sort of just let him get round. And once you're sort of in that, vintage Anthony Smith position, Piper just starts landing heavy shots on him, heavy, flattened Izzy out so he couldn't move. Izzy's just taking shots, he's not really moving, he's sort of quitting in a way, but at the same time, can he get out of that position once he's there? Not really. Piper's landing heavy hooks to the side of Adesanya's face as he's flat down on the canvas, and the ref calls it. No redemption season for Izzy. I was scrolling TikTok the other day and seeing all these hype edits of Izzy when he was champ, and I was breaking down his performances against Amavov and how he looked good, and he looked good in this fight as well. I genuinely, again, I know this might be cope, but he looked better than Piper, and I think he was getting too into the exchanges at a certain point in the second, and Piper was able to get him down and finish him. And yeah, Izzy did not retire. I think he said in his post-fight speech that he's going to keep on fighting, never give up. He didn't do a Michael Chiesa. He didn't throw his gloves on the ground. R.I.P. Michael Chiesa. He's not dead. He's just retired. So, sad to see. I was really hoping Izzy could pull it off. But instead of the fun edits, we're getting the sad edits. I believe it did earn him a performance of the night. Let me move my face cam over here. This is a shot from the thing. Yeah. Performance of the night, Joe Piper. Great performance from Joe Piper. I don't want to, just be like, oh, Izzy or Wallace, you're awful, you need to retire, bro. Piper was really good. Patient. I think he sort of accepted that he might not win the first round. And he knew he had another 4 in there. I believe he did say in his post-fight speech, I didn't see this on Twitter, so maybe it was just Cap, someone engagement baiting, but at a certain point with the low kicks, he was sort of putting on a face to make it seem like it hurt more than it actually did. So then Izzy would start engaging more in an attempt to sort of put him out. And Piper really wasn't as hurt as he was making it out to seem, and then that gave him the opportunity to land back on Izzy and then take him down and finish him. And if so, that's a high IQ play. I was low IQing him in the breakdown prediction video yesterday, so respect to Piper. But it's just sad to see, man. I was very upset last night watching that because I thought I was about to see prime Israel Adesanya piece up Joe Piper, outland and frustrate him for 5 rounds. But respect to Joe Piper, and it was a great card all round. I didn't have high hopes going into it at all, but a lot of crazy finishes on the card, and yeah, overall, pretty good event. Much love. Thanks for all the love on the recent videos. I am aiming to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2026, so if that's possible, that would be amazing. Much love, guys. Peace.